Well, hello, and welcome to Stop Let's Team Up, episode 117, 4 for 4, number 7, where me and Kirby discuss the Fantastic Four issues 24, 25, 26, and 27. We've hit the 2-year mark of the comic, and we're going to start with a visit with the Infant Terrible. All right, Kirby. So while I'm pulling up the synopsis and the pertinent data, what do you think of the cover? It's a Kirby, George Russo, Stan Goldberg, Art Simic cover. Ooh, took 4 people.
It is a bog standard cover. The alien design is not one of Jack's best. It kind of gets the point across, and there's not too much cover copy on it that it just bogs it down, but this is just a standard comic book cover.
It is a very, very Silver Age cover. It's got a big alien monster, and monsters are cool. The Fantastic Four. I like that they give in the fandom wiki. It gives because there's so much going on that they feel they have to credit not only the penciler, the inker George Russo, Stan Goldberg. He's the inker. George Russo. They're 2 inkers, and the colorist. Sorry. No, wait a minute. Art Simic. There's 3. Art Simic's a colorist too, isn't he?
So, yeah.
I took 3 colorists. Why? There's not that much fucking color on it. Why did it take 3? I think it's the lettering. I think because there's 3 caption boxes on the cover.
Yeah.
What does the first one say? Never have you read a tale. Never have you seen a creature remotely like the Infant Terrible. A book-length classic of the incredible. Surprise follows spectacular surprise in this marvelous Marvel manner. Yeah, it's not that deep, guys. That's a lot of verbiage for not something deep. Credits on this one: Stan Lee, writer; Jack Kirby, penciler; George Russo's inker; Sam Rosenletter, Stan Lee, editor. Roll call is it's the Fantastic Four. We don't have to worry about a roll call change for another 80 issues. Well, no, that's not true. Crystal, another 40 issues.
Yeah.
Something like that. Lissa's in this. The Infant Terrible, his first appearance. And then some just random people in the background. Does this have a synopsis in here? I'm just looking for it. I'm looking, but I'm not really going to do the synopsis, the whole synopsis. I'm going to give it to you in my short thing. Alien baby lands on planet. Is babysit by Ben, Sue, and Johnny, not very well, while Reed has a good talking to with his parents.
And then gangsters.
And gangsters kidnap and take advantage of the baby.
Yep.
The baby goes, what? And then mom and dad show. Then the FF save the baby and bring them home. Their mom and dad are standing on the roof, or are they on the roof of the Baxter building? I don't know where. I don't remember. But basically, this is a really, I don't know.
Folks, you've seen this story before. If you close your eyes, you've seen this story.
Yeah, everybody has. It's you know what? This is what comics were for then. This is definitely one of those things where this was written for 6-year-olds because their readers were 6 to 10, and they lost them at 10. It wasn't until later that they realized, hey, we're not losing them.
Right.
Some of them are still reading it. Oh, and that's where the Infant Terrible shows back up.
Where?
Oh, it's in Annihilation.
I do not remember that at all.
Well, hold on a second. Let me go to my share my screen so I can show it to you. Hold on. Come on. It's not gonna let me do it. No, it's not. It's on the Wikipedia page. I went to Fandom Wiki and I pulled him up, and he's one of the survivors from the prison camp, but he's a teenager.
Well, okay, folks, I'm looking this up on my phone real quick while we're talking here, and
Well,
yep.
No, there was a version of the Oh, wait a minute. He's in Power Pack. Then he's in Annihilation. That's cool. Well, I didn't realize this. He ends up being one of the. He's in Paraback, the Super Skrulls group of fighters.
Okay, so I never read Power Pack.
it's the first the Simonson Bingham stuff is wonderful.
Okay.
It's a comic that you should always be putting out where you got kids of a certain age so you can sell it to them, can read it and see themselves in it. But yeah, the Infant Terrible is in a Power Pack store and loses one of his antenna, and then it's that one that's in the Annihilation.
Okay. Yeah.
But he had a big part in the Annihilation. He fought with Paraback's group. That's cool. I like that a lot. But it's it's one of those little, look, there's a little baby. The baby doesn't know what they're doing. There's some weird shit going on, like the toy soldiers, and that's what makes, that the creature's nonverbal and everything seems to be about toys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's this. Spits all this. You go, oh, I get it. It's a top. It's toy soldiers. I'm smart.
He's drinking a chocolate milkshake.
Oh my God! Of course, yeah. But let's talk. What did you think of the art? This is at this era where it hasn't settled into that wonderful Kirby Senate polish, but I like some of it. Ben looks. It's a little.
George Russos does not do favors for Ben. I'm sorry, and that's the thing that drives me out. But it has gotten better.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of leaps out to me is a lot of the poses of Sue on page 2 there, where I'm like, okay, Jack's looking at his Playboys again while drawing Sue.
Oh yeah, he's using those for models. Yeah, look, pinups, all the things. This is. This art, it's weird going back now that I'm in the Buscema drawing the FF, and that's weird. John Buscema drawing, I love it. But I'm reading the Romita Senior drawing, which felt weird to me.
I have those.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I have those. They're on my desk. I haven't read them yet. So.
They're okay. But it's just weird to see him. But this early Kirby stuff. It's jarring to go back to it sometimes. But there's a lot going on. He's got the robots. He's got, the battle. I think the Infant Terrible looks better on the interior.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great.
It's just not one of back. Jack can do a lot better alien designs, as we'll see, probably not in the not too distant future. But this is it's a 50s alien. It's green. It's got the antenna. It's got weird suction cup feet.
Yeah. It's so weird looking. It is so weird looking. But actually the story's not bad. If I was a 6-year-old reading this year, I'd have loved it. It was, there's a lot going on, But, they battle him and he trashes the place and the gangsters think, oh, of course, let's just go up to an alien that's doing all this damage and bribe it with a malted milk to get it to steal for us. Which is sillier than hell.
One of the gangsters it's on page 10. I'm sorry, it's the one in the brown derby offering the lollipops. It looks like Nixon to me. It really does.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it does look like Nixon. But I like how they give it's got ice cream. And then we cut to the FF, and they talk about how powerful this kid could be. It's like, well, a page before you had him eating ice cream in the back of a cab with some gangsters. And now you're saying he'll maybe be able to move planets. Who knows?
Could extinguish the sun or something, or bring it closer. Come on, pick a lane, guys.
I know, yeah. It's that I found that very funny, kind of like how all of it. But it's it's a Silver Age comic. It's like I posted some stuff from the later ones about the stuff in the middle issues about how I forget that this is in the Silver Age.
Yeah.
It's just Marvel. So I'm so much more familiar with Marvel, DC Silver Age, where I give it a pass sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I'm looking, I don't know if I'm going to give you a pass.
If this was a Superman comic from this exact same year with this exact same story, I'd be a lot more forgiving. It would make perfect
sense.
Yeah.
But it makes perfect sense in that universe because they do weird stuff like this. But then again, we cut back to the baby steals the armored truck, deposits all the money, turns some of it into a pig, gives some of the bags wings, has of it turned into mud. And he thinks this is the funniest thing because you've got a toddler, people. Mm-hmm. He had no idea. And then Johnny and the Sue and Ben come and rescue her.
Yeah, and I will say, sorry, Ben has some fun Looney Tunes fights against these gangsters where he's like bending the gun and like tying them all up in a New York City palm tree.
Yeah, why is there a palm tree in upstate New York? I don't get it. And then he gets to wraps the big bad guy in with tires, which I find very funny.
Oh.
But there's some really funny moments in this comic, and I do think that for a kid it was a good, you're getting what you want. And then we cut to Reed, and he's for 4 panels he's dialing something. He's looking at a telescope, and he's found a rerun of George Powell's "It's War of the Worlds." Or, oh, wait a minute. No, they've just lifted the Martian spaceship from that film.
That is exactly what they've done.
It's not even like,
No, it's not even, they don't even add a fin or something to it. It is just that design.
Yeah. It's a nice panel, though.
It is.
This is Kirby's starting to fiddle with color and texture. Yeah, and his space stuff is great. So Johnny creates a tornado around the infant. Oh, and there's a riot in town, so we cut to Elisa wandering around. She's blind. Oh, I'm going to go into the mob to look for Ben. He's going to hear me crying for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Lois Lane, I would give this a pass. But
yeah, no, not for Elisa. And she hits the ground, man. How does she not get trampled? It's just very... Yeah, putting her, she doesn't need to be in the story.
No. She almost gets run over by a car with no driver in it.
Yeah.
I had to reread that couple because I'm going like, okay, so there's no one else, unless like, it looks like it's speeding up. So unless someone has put a brick on the pedal as they're leaving, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't get that. And then we get, the parents are, they try to make the Martian ship look different when we get to the end where it's hovering over the Baxter building.
A little bit.
And the parents come in and get yeah. So I mean, this is kind of like I kind of thought maybe Byrne brought the infant terrible back because that I wouldn't have put that past him because he liked to do those little nods to the past and just go, I'm going to bring back this little character that didn't do much, but it was a silly little thing, and have them have another adventure, or meet him as an older character. Mm-hmm. So I think Byrne. I saw someone bashing on Byrne recently online, and a lot of people dislike him because he's a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And comics pass him by, and that's all. But they're going, well, his FF wasn't that. He was just ripping off Jack. It's like everybody was ripping Jack. The rule was to rip off Jack and Stan. That was the rule. Because if you look at anybody, it's why Sennett stayed on the book. I think Sennett stays in the book because he makes Romita, Buscema, Pollard, Byrne, Perez look more Kirby-esque, or at least it has the same finish as Kirby's. Really, I think his best stuff is when Sennett comes in.
Oh yeah, no, that's without question. So, quick question.
I think Al Milgram's an improvement.
Yeah.
Or Vinnie Coletta. No, Vinnie Coletta, not Milgram. Vinnie Coletta did a couple right before
Sennett comes on, yeah.
And I think he was it may have been he was afraid of Jack, so he didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
But it looks good. But this George Russo stuff, I have a little issue.
Yeah, same here. So I was thinking, I kind of almost wish this issue was like a second Impossible Man story because it easily could have been, and that way.
Oh.
I don't know. You could have done like a riff on him again and. Try and improve from that first time he showed up. What do you think?
I do too. I think it would be better. But see, that's what I'm thinking about. Who brings him back? Is it Wolfman and Perez who bring Impossible Man? But yeah.
Okay.
I think that's who they bring him back.
Yeah, because
that's around the time of the Crusader of the Marvel Boy when Marvel Boy came back as a baddie and died, and that's how Vaughn got the costume. So. I think it would have been better that way. I just think this one, it was like, I read it twice back to back because I kind of read it and was like, I'm going to beat this up, and I don't want to beat it up. So I read it again because, you know what, this comic was meant for this age, so it's exactly what it should have been for.
Yeah.
It's, we're still a good 20 issues before we get to the point to where it gets to start to change to, like, teenagers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. This was like kind of the last real hurdle of an issue that I remembered because...
Yeah, we're getting these two-parters because the next one's a two-parter. and we get more two-parters, and then we start getting
3
plot lines, long plot lines, yeah. Or even subtle, not like Claremont way, but it takes 4 or 5 issues, 6 issues to tell a story. So next up is issue 25. We didn't do the publication dates of the last one, but this one was released on the 20th, January 10th, 1964, and cover date April 1964. I'm still not even alive. We're 2 years in. Written by Stan, pencils Jack, George Russo's inks, Rosen letters, Stanley editor, and same team, 4-man team on this. And this is one of the classic Hulk. Is this the first Hulk versus the Thing?
The first one in issue 12.
This is second.
This is the second one.
Yeah, this is. And it's this is a good one. It's a great cover.
So not to bury the lead, I'm willing to call this the best fight of the 1960s Marvel, or it's at least in the conversation.
No, you know what? You're not far from what I might take on it, because the fight is almost 2 full comics, and it doesn't feel. It just works. With little pauses, it works. It's got this great cover. It says, "This is the big one: the Incredible Hulk versus the Thing." Page after page of pulse-pounding thrills. A Marvel super spectacular. The battle of the century, bringing the Marvel age of comics to a lofty new pinnacle of greatness. And I would agree with all of that.
I really love just how much bigger they make the Hulk. Because, Ben is big, but he's never inhumanly big. Hulk's a giant here.
Yeah, and it's nice having Jack draw him. I just finished reading, last week I got to the point where Jack is back drawing Hulk in Tales to Astonish. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you did another run.
Okay.
So this is interesting. Yeah, no, it's good. Those are really Silver Agey, but they're okay. They've already gotten to the point to where the Hulk is, because they're only 8-page stories, that his stories have to take 4 issues to tell them. They're still writing 22-page stories. They're just chopping them in half. And it's actually pretty good. And some of my favorite, I'm liking it more than... I find early Hulk is a little more solid in its writing than 20 issues in than say maybe FF.
Okay, yeah.
FF's on the formula, but I find reading these that they have not aged as well as later stuff has aged.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I mean, the Sue shit is still bugging the fuck out of me.
God, yeah, no, we're...
So, yeah, this is, it. Like, they make her a little bit better, they give her another power, and I think they're writing her better, and then she's just, it's just, dated. This one's got a great splash page. Ben's literally climbing up a wall to get away from Reed, who has a cure for his rockiness, and it's all about he doesn't want to do it because Alicia likes him the way he is.
Yep.
I like it. He's got a healthy attitude here. It's later he has an unhealthy attitude.
No, here I think this is Ben kind of starting to finally, accept his lot in life in some ways. Though I think he says, hey, if you could do one where I can switch back and forth, let's do that.
Yeah, I like that. And that will come, because I'm up to that. God, I think I just finished that. I've just finished that storyline in my read-through. Where he finally goes, because that's another Hulk battle where he goes crazy.
Okay.
All right, yeah, the side effect. That stuff, but, basically it's this. But, so, the Hulk is being chased. This whole story takes place between issues 4 and 5 of the Avengers.
Okay, so has Hulk's, his first ongoing was canceled by this point.
Oh, it was canceled before. Yeah.
Okay.
It only went 6 issues. He hasn't even taken over Tales of Astonish.
Okay, so he's in kind of like a nexus point.
Because he takes over Tales of Astonish. From Iron Man.
Okay, so...
Is it? I don't know. He takes it over, and then eventually Giant Man and Wasp go away, and Submariner takes their place to where Tales of Astonish is Submariner and Hulk. And then it becomes, renumbering, it becomes Hulk 1-0 something or other.
Gotcha.
And Namor gets a number one. But the Avengers are like, the Hulk is running from the Avengers. They want to try to make sure he's safe. They're not trying to cage him or anything. But,
This is like the most verbose and like articulate Hulk I have read.
Well, that's the way he is. I'm reading that stuff, and he speaks in full sentences. He is more intelligent. This is a period where he does say smash and stuff, but he's got the IQ of like an average human being. And he has his own thing, and he doesn't want to be Banner. So this is very consistent to what you'd be seeing in Hulk. And I've never read I've never read any of that Tales of Astonish stuff, so it's all new to me. So I'm enjoying it. But this is great. Like he goes through his pockets, he throws out Banner's pipe and matches, finds an article. What's this newspaper? The Avengers replaced me with Captain America. And then he's going to go, I'm going to go destroy it. Wait a minute, you quit.
Oh, and then
and then your next appearance, you're going to team up with Submariner.
And it's like, Rick left me for them? Huh, screw them. I'm being jealous.
Yeah, I find a circle. And so Reed's been breathing in toxic chemicals and giving himself a disease. Is there any hint that he's sick other than he's trashed his lab?
Reed is... 1960s science is not what we would like to call safe. Because, I guess he has the windows sealed here, too.
Oh, yeah. So, while he's knocked out, Johnny and Ben go and fight the Hulk, which is this begins a fight that starts in this issue and does not end until 3/4 of the way through the next issue.
And it
works.
It moves. There's not a wasted moment in this fight.
Oh my God, page 8, or 7 and 8, where it starts to get into this panel format he's going to use for chunks of it. The 3 rows, and it moves. It moves, and it's some of it's less silly stuff in the fight, I think, than in others, where he's just picking stuff up. And there's some great scenes, like with the police cars going through the crowd on 9. I mean, Jack's really rocking. I'm not minding Russo. Russo just makes the Ben look a little uneven, Rocky. Kind of like Krug. Is it Krug? Who's the character that's in the third movies?
Yeah, Krug. Yeah, and I think that's my problem. Yeah. His Ben was a little more consistent. I think it would be I could deal with it a lot better. But, neither here nor there at this point. And I do like that Sue at least is able to contribute a little bit to the fight here, where she, was able to protect Johnny before, Hulk decides to take another punch at him.
Well, see, they gave her these great powers. That Burns, the first one that says she's the most powerful hero member, and it is. I think it's great. Like when the Hulk is straddling the invisible force field, trying to crush Johnny.
But unfortunately, Sue is knocked out after 3 panels because the strain the Hulk put on was just too much.
Well, he jumps into the sky, so she's stretching her a bit. She can't think that far.
Then we get to the star of this issue, which is Thing versus Hulk, and this is Jack, I think, really starting to cut loose. Just the start of page 12 where Ben has knocked Hulk clear through a building, and then it's just he's trying to hide on the other side. Hulk rips apart the bus. Oh, it's just so good.
Oh yeah. Oh no, and then he's throwing tires at him. And they're just using things, and he chucks Ben to the roof of top of a 10-story building, so much that the whole building
starts rocking back and forth as he's just to get Ben back down. He throws Ben through the road, then grabs some electrical cables and tricks Hulk into grabbing it to try and knock him out, but it only lasts for a second. As we cut back to Reed, who's going through an acid trip.
Yeah, he's got a fever dream. He's trying to stretch out the window. And we cut back to the fight where the Yancey Street kids rig a car to go backwards at high speed and catch the Thing and Ben and dump them in the river. I like that. And then beat Ben in a speedboat.
I really one thing I like is Ben points out I'm lighter and faster, which is kind of their explanation for why he's able to keep up with the Hulk. And I just love the few panels at the bottom of page 17 where he's just kind of driving, and then Hulk just bursts through the hull of the boat. So good.
Oh my God. And then they're on the, I guess it's the Brooklyn Bridge, or it's one of the bridges.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And they start, yeah, and they don't think they say. It's just, and he tries to wrap the Hulk up in the cables. And they're trying to figure out what's wrong with Reed, and the fight keeps going. Then they get page 21, folks. If you got a copy, it's just 3 panels. And the Hulk coming right at. It's like he's threatening you, like he's coming at you, the reader, but he's threatening the army. And they're about to shoot bazookas at him, and she starts helping. Sue's in a panic. Reed's waking up, and Ben gets up off his knees and keeps on going. So we just get a pause. I mean, it's literally not a 10 or 15 page fight scene that moves plot along, is energetic, it's well paced, and it gives Ben a team to shine. I think Sue does okay. She faints too much.
She does. But this really does end on one heck of a cliffhanger where, if you don't mind, let me just read the last couple panels here. He beat me. That big, brainless, muscle-bound creep beat me. It never happened before. Maybe it's what I needed. I was beginning to think I was unbeatable. Boy, what a laugh. Well, like my dear old Aunt Petunia used to say, you can only die once, and that's the only way he'll stop me now. By killing me. Concluded. Next issue. If I'm a kid, I'm finding that next issue.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to check every day, So let's go to issue 26. This is a classic cover.
It reminded me.
I love this.
Reminded me a lot of the original Donkey Kong game, honestly.
Except instead of a gorilla, it's a green guy. Yeah. But I like this, and this is where they're starting to weave continuity, because they make mention in the notes that this takes place before Avengers 4 and 5, where Cap is joined, and they go looking, because in Avengers 5, the Avengers battle the Lava Men, and the Hulk's in it, and I think him and their Submariner is in it, or in an issue or two later. But they're interweaving all the continuity. And it's just the Hulk at top of a building that's just made up of beams, and the Avengers, consisting of Cap, Wasp, Giant Man, Thor, and Iron Man, and the Fantastic Four and Rick Jones are fighting the Thing. The covers go, the Avengers take over. Don't miss this great conclusion, the epic battle between the Thing and the Hulk, featuring a galaxy of the world's most thrilling guest stars. Fun cover.
Yeah, so out there maybe JLA, say this might be the first team up between teams, too.
I hadn't thought about that. Because this is early on. I mean, the Avengers and the X-Men are the second and third team. Wow. All right. So what did you think of the splash page for the Avengers Take Over? That's a lot. I like a floating head, but it is definitely, because it's a two-parter. They don't know how to they haven't learned how to play a catch-up.
No, they really haven't, because this is a text on the first page with, Ben trying to give him a bear hug, the Hulk a bear hug while Hulk's about to try and bash his heads. And I actually do like that they have Hulk with, arm hair and whatnot. I think that's...
Oh, yeah.
So I just feel like I don't see that much, or maybe I don't read enough Hulk.
No, most people make him very smooth. So, less bear, more otter. I don't know what's going on with that. It's just, but yeah, I do. That's a Kirby thing. Kirby, guys have hairy arms. Some very hairy arms. But I like that. Sue looks a little, Reed's face is I don't know. I think they're still trying to find their final faces, and you're 24 issues in. Reed, you got it. Sue's different, but I like that Jack would
He's playing
give
with
her
it.
different hairdos. Oh, yeah, I think he's looking in fashion magazines. So, but that's a lot. It's just all recap, and then we go right back to where we left off.
Yeah, if you cut that opening page out, and you had this as one big, the second this was the second annual, you're not missing a beat.
Oh no, you're not. There's some weird stuff like he smashes Ben into the concrete, and then I don't know what he's doing that turns it into mud.
Yeah, I think he's just like crushing a bunch of the concrete that's around him or something. But
okay, all right. So they keep going, and the army's there. Just more. There are more and more soldiers doing less and less. So the news is up on the roofs. I love that. And Reed's still really sick, so they bring in this guy that's really smart. I was waiting for a second to be Don Blake, but it wasn't.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah.
But they're going to analyze the alien virus and give him this thing. Johnny got his ass kicked, so he's been in the hospital with a broken arm and a concussion. And then he flames on and flies out. And I'm like going, well, dude, you're taking off your hospital robes. So what's on underneath?
Nothing. And how are the bandages staying on?
Thank you. I had that same problem. But I don't care because the fight scene just keeps going. And when you get to 5 where Johnny's firing fire at superheated, his superheated flames where it's melting bricks and spewing it at the Hulk. And then the Hulk takes a fire hydrant, pulls the pipe all the way out, bends it, and then tries to shoot Johnny with water. This is really good. And the fight scene just goes on and on, man. They're neat things. Him slamming 2 bricks as hard as he does, like when he slaps his hand, that takes Flynn, the concussive blast throws Johnny and Ben. I love that stuff. And the army's all crawling around on their bellies.
But we get this awesome page. The first couple panels of page 7 where the army fires a cannon, a shell at the Hulk. Hulk catches it and without slowing down at all, throws it right back at them. This is just such a good kinetic moment here.
Yeah, it is. And then Ben checking on Johnny. They're both struggling. I love it. And then finally, is this Rick? Yep. Rick is that's a reporter.
Oh, okay.
Ben's like, now here comes my favorite part of all the reading. Is when the Hulk goes into the subways to get away, and he kindly asks the driver to get all the passengers out, and then he starts driving the train.
What?
Shit, man. Silver Age. Makes no damn sense. It was fun. I was like, really? I've read this comic before. I never caught on that he was a licensed, qualified train driver. So I had to share. If y'all have been following that and another panel with just... You would feel Jim Shooter had written the dialogue, or Al Weisinger with Cap talking. But this is basically the thing is smart enough to drive a train.
But I do, before he stops the train, I do love kind of the bottom of page 8 where the conductor sees and Hulk is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger before he, I guess he lets go of the dead man switch.
Oh, okay.
And then Hulk somehow knows the New York subway system to know where Tony Stark's mansion is.
Oh, yeah. From the underground he can figure that out. And then he goes into the mansion, and then you get the Avengers, drawn by by Jack. He was doing a lot, man, because he was doing 3. At this point, he's doing 3. He's doing FF, right. Avengers, and X-Men.
Oh, right. Yeah, because...
by this point, he's still doing it. He didn't stay on X-Men long.
And he's not on Avengers too long, is he? Because isn't Heck on pretty good soon?
Heck's on by 16 or 17. Okay. But yeah. He does like 2 years. They're both bi-monthly.
Okay.
So at this point, but then we get the fight turns into the Avengers versus him, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's some of the best Jack art that we've had up to this point.
Oh, easily, without a doubt, because I can't remember. I think it's even commented on here that the Avengers, they're just tripping over each other trying to stop him.
Well, they're all piling on. Jan's the only one that's like, wait a minute, you morons, you're gonna step on me.
And she tries to throw off his equilibrium, which I'm like, oh, good. I like when they actually in the '60s they let Jan do something that makes complete sense.
Yeah. Well, she's standing up for him. I mean, I like Reed as, the vibe. He's gotten one shot and he's able to go out and help.
Sure, why not?
Well, I'm glad he's the damsel in distress. Yeah, I'm glad he's the one that's fainted and it's not Sue.
Oh, yeah. No argument there at all.
Yeah. Wasp goes in, tries to mess up the Hulk by buzzing her wings in his ear.
Something in to me it should be something in Hulk's ear. Gotta get out. That's how I would expect. But if you're saying this is how he was, all right.
Oh yeah, he was like very literate. And then he's battling Cap, and I shared this one. The Hulk is yelling at Cap for Cap won't shut. Cap's running his mouth, and the thing goes, "Try to lecture me, will ya? Hey, how can you move so fast? Clean living doesn't, Sonny." I was like, gee. Oh man. And then the Hulk goes, "Easy, big man. You'll wear yourself out." Oh, that's Cap talking to the thing. Yeah, it's just them talking smack.
Hey, look, he's been on ice for over a decade. Oh, wow. Probably only over for a decade. Yeah, not that long. 15 years.
20 years. 20 years. No, 44. He freezes in 44, 45. This is 64. All right. But the Avengers in the FF fight.
Reed's got some weird, screws up Iron Man. I guess they're still tripping all over each other.
Mm-hmm.
Thor takes Ben out of this fight by accidentally hitting him with the hammer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But it just catches him in the gut and throws him into a building. But the Hulk has grabbed Rick and has jumped off. Now the Avengers and the FF have to come to some kind of agreement, and they track him to the girder, and they work as a team. They work as they do. It just keeps going. There's some really good. I think the art's definitely better than the Infant Terrible art, and I'm really enjoying it.
No.
I even like Iron Man when they had the close up on his mask on 18. It looks more functional than it does other places.
Yes,
I think.
Because you can kind of see where the helmet can go, or the face mask can go up and down.
Yeah, like the earpiece is a hinge. And I always like the pointy-haired man.
I do. It gives it a nice little, distinct, a silhouette, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, they mess up this building. Thing gets covered in concrete. Cap throws a ball.
I love that panel where Hulk throws the wrecking ball at him on the beginning of page 20. It's I feel like we haven't gotten a perspective like that yet, or at least in a while.
Yeah. The Hulk is now covered by thousands of ants, and he's walking off the pier. He's walking toward the pier, and Rick throws an gamma radiation medicine in his mouth as he falls into the water, and he surfaces as Bruce Banner. And they've lost him, but Rick is the only one who knows about Banner, right? These guys don't know. Yeah, they don't know.
Right, because all I know of early Avengers is that Hulk was dressed up as a clown at one point.
Yeah, no, Rick helps Bruce get away, and I like that. And it was a really good team up. I think it's one of the best FF stories we've read.
Oh, easily. This is probably the top 2 or 3 here for me. Just because
we're gonna get to a point to where I'm gonna love every issue.
Yeah, we're getting closer with each episode.
So now we're going to go to issue 27, our last one for today, which is another team up with the Submariner. Release date March 10th, 1964. Cover date June 1964. This time it is Lee, Kirby, Russo's. Colorist is uncredited. Sam Rosen, letterer, Stan, editor. It's got a great, it's a pretty good cover.
It's a serviceable cover.
Yeah, you got the 3 members of the Fantastic Four standing off against the Submariner, who's got his arm around Sue, and a green Doctor Strange, because he's a guest star in this. I've never read this comic till I read it the first time I read this omnibus.
Yeah.
So it was very weird to see him. It's him in his blue cape. He's in his original costume.
Strange, if I remember, it's a couple of years into Strange's stories before he gets his classic red cloak.
Oh yeah. He gets an upgrade. So this one is again Stan stealing either from fashion magazines or just, hey, I've drawn this pose before in a Patsy Walker or something, where Sue was worrying about her haircut and clothes. And but wait a minute, I forgot. No, this is Reed's thinking. So
this is Reed.
He's trying a new thought projector. It's like, dude, I'm glad it stopped at a bikini.
I had the exact same
swimsuit
joke in my notes. It's like, if everyone else wasn't around.
It's like, good God. Yeah. Oh, what are you into, Reed? But it's this weird thing. Ben sees Dr. Doom throwing a spiky grenade, which makes him jump back. Reed had to catch him by turning into a big cushion. So, and then we got Namor. Because Namor, I like this. We go to Namor. He loves Sue, and he wants something that's best for his people, and he's trying to find something. If I have a surface dweller, maybe we'll get along better. Whatever. He's trying to be a good monarch. And then you see Ben's working out with this big coiled spring in the weight room, whatever. And this person comes and punches, and it snaps, and this guy's in a suit and tie, and I was thinking it was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, that would have been cool. I was also wondering if it was supposed to be his Hollywood producer disguise again.
Yeah, but no, it's him. And then he admits who he is. He's I'm the Impossible Man.
That would have made the story kind of a little more interesting, because like him taking out Ben and Johnny's all fine, but this is at least the third, fourth time we've seen Namor do this.
He continues to do it, man. I remember when I was reading, whenever he would pop up, man, mention this crap, and I'm like going, Reed, why you? She leaves you twice. One time for good reason, and the other time because you're a shitty husband. And it's like, yeah, well, he's a mad scientist. What the fuck did you think it was? You think the King of the Sea is going to be any better? What are you talking about? It's just a trope, and it becomes a trope of a trope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, he drugs her, he kidnaps her. It's sex trafficking. It's really, it's...
This is very 60s.
And Johnny and Reed's really pissed, too. This is one thing I like about it, is Reed's like, don't kidnap my wife.
Yeah, because he even talks of okay, I'm finally gonna propose to her, and all of that. So it's like,
yeah, we're getting this arc. This is they mention it because the ring gets handed out in a couple more issues, and then they get married. They're starting to do plot lines. I like that.
Yep, and I think we might have said this last episode, but I really do like when it is Reed, man of action, not just Reed in the lab. And this issue has a lot of that.
I do too. Yeah, dude, I like it a lot. I like that Ben and Johnny go on their thing. Johnny shoots, he writes in the sky, Doctor Strange, urgent contact, Human Torch. And then we cut to, this does not look like Jack art.
I'm thinking, they had Ditko maybe do some, uncredited inking to try and keep him more...
It feels like that first frontal, the middle panel, that looked like Mike Sikowski.
Ooh...
yeah, doesn't. He's very square. He's a rectangle with a head.
Yeah.
It is. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. I think they fix it when they get to when he's in his astral form.
Yeah.
I think it looks better in some ways because it's a little more realistic than Ditko.
Mm-hmm.
That it actually works better. And I like that he shows up in his astral form and Ben thinks he's a ghost. He's such a...
And just for continuity, this is the first time Doctor Strange crossed over with anyone as well, so we got that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Because Strange hadn't been around for
cool.
that long. I should have done the research on that, but I do know.
Well, they're probably putting all their new characters in FF because it's selling well.
This has been starting with 24 and going for this issue and a couple more. It's crossover season.
Wow. But I like this, Submariner goes, Doc Strange finds where Submariner's got Sue, finds that Reed's already there, so he goes and gets Reed there's 3 pages of Reed fighting
Namor,
Namor, and then being cornered, and then Doctor Strange getting back to Johnny and Ben and just teleporting them there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of... Doctor Strange's only real role in this is beaming people in and out.
I know he's having to play the Scotty role. It's just to get him in the comic, but I think the fight scenes in this are really good. Again.
Yeah, again.
And I think the plot is discussed and moved forward during the fight instead of pausing for the fight. I mean, is it a little overwritten? It's Stan. Yeah, it's a little overwritten.
Yeah.
It's also the 1960s, so I think it works. I don't, we'll get to it. There's something with the gas that they're preventing. I do like on page 18 where Reed's got Submariner all tied up and Ben is juggling 5 Atlantean warriors.
Yeah.
And just going, hey, just enjoy yourself. Reed, okay, you just enjoy yourself, Reed, buddy boy. I'll keep juggling these clowns until you get Subby under wraps. And Submariner, you made one fatal mistake, Richard. You allowed me to get within reach, and you'll pay for it with your life. And what did he do? By body slamming, that's going to hurt? He stabbed him?
Yeah, but Reed's bones can't be broken, or at least not easily.
Yeah, so I don't know what he did to Reed, but...
he kneed him in the junk.
Oh, is that what it is?
I mean,
okay. But I think...
I'm joking, but not
wouldn't
much.
His junk be a little rubbery? I don't... And then Ben gets zapped by... I don't even know what's happening with Ben.
I don't know. Jack drew stuff, and Stan put words on it that may or may not relate.
Yeah, I think this it is. But the fight goes on. I mean, I got to say this. Is Jack can turn a 2-page, what should be a 2 or 3 page fight scene into like 2 issues and not harm the book. I think it's good. And Sue, okay, this is what I got confused. Sue tells, I'm going to read this. So if the battle's over, they're talking. Sue goes, I'm sorry, Namor. Sorry if you misunderstood the sympathy I felt for you. Ouch. Yes, even the affection. Ouch. I felt. Sorry you thought it was love, but I realize now Reed is the only man for me and nothing can change that. Ouch. It's like, man, I mean, at one point, stop. I got the point on the first one. I know what's coming next.
I've had some.
And Doctor Strange is watching, is spying on them. He goes, oh shit, I better get them out of there. He's about to lose his shit.
Oh yeah, he's about to throw the world's worst temper tantrum here.
Yeah, he sees them. They must not escape me. Too late, Your Highness. And they're teleported to Reed's sub. I'm a little confused. It's like, Sue, darling, what about what you said back in Namor's palace? She goes, please, Reed. I prefer not to discuss it now. I'm still so shaken. No, don't answer. Ben jumps in. No, don't answer, Sue. I think I'd rather not know your answer. It's like, what's going on? And then Reed's like having second thoughts. She said she was... You're a dick, dude. She had nothing. She was kidnapped and told you exactly. Now you're not sure that she loves you?
Reed wanted to pop the question right here, but he fumbled in his own head. And yeah, no, he screwed up here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's not the... Oh, and next issue, they meet the X-Men. Let's introduce, I'll bring all the Hulk's book failed. Submariner's going to, he's moving, let's just see what's happening. Yep. I think that's hysterical because the X-Men are in the next one. And is it, let me look at the cover. This time they're climbing on the Thinker's android.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be next episode, folks, where we get one more big crossover and then, we get a real classic cover after that. But that'll be next time.
We also get an annual, which I'm looking forward to.
Yep. That's where I'm willing to say the Golden Age starts, or the Golden Age of the FF starts.
Oh yeah, that's cool because I knew we were getting close to it. It was good. Overall, I liked them. The first one was not, my cup of tea. It's not. It doesn't age as well as other. The Avenger one is as good as I remember it. I'd read it. I've read it as an Avenger fan. I read it. I think it's good. I know it's still a Silver Age comic, and for the most part, the search for the Submariner is. It's complex. You have it. I mean, there's Doc Strange in there just to sell his book or whatever. Yeah. But and there's some really 60s sexist shit in it. But
I'm Namored out.
It was we don't have him for a while, please.
I don't think we do.
Well, they really only running on like 4 or 5 bad guys, and it's like build some new ones. So. All right, folks, that was this month's 4 for 4. Let Kirby go. Kirby, what you reading, or what would you recommend to people?
So right now I have started to read Jerry Conway's Fury of Firestorm. So I'm about halfway. I'm just at issue 47 now, so I'll be reading this before I jump into the Ostrander run. This has been a really solid writing by Conway, where it's his own character. You can tell he's learned a lot from writing Spider-Man, because this is what it is, kind of DC doing a strong pass on a Spider-Man type book.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've been reading it.
I got Ross to read something.
Yeah, I've been reading it. I'm going to try to read it one issue a day and post it, what I think, real short. I'm not going to give, I'm me. You got to tell you I like it or tell you I dislike it. But it's some of the best Broderick art. I'm a big Pat Broderick fan. His Legion, his Micronauts, and this, and Fury Firestorm are excellent. They're excellent. And it's a fun book, and I remember reading it as it was coming out. I think I read it up to about Crisis.
That's where I just finished those issues I think this morning, actually. And there's some good stuff.
Who's doing the art by then? Is it
no, it's like
is it Canon?
Raphael Canyon or something like that.
Canyon, yeah.
It's fine. Okay. It's good. I have like 2 points. One, I've encountered like all of his villains either as like Flash villains of the week on the show, or as Suicide Squad cannon fodder. So it is kind of interesting to see where they came from.
Yeah. Yeah. Killer Frost, she's really good in it, and I'm up to I did the issue where the JLA come and they try to stop him, and they goes, no, wait a minute, you're right. Our rules say if it's your town, you get a lead. And he teams up with the Red Tornado because his family lives there. I love that. I was on one Red Tornado got something to do, and it showed you. This is the first time his other teammates see him have the power. That it's two people. I really like
Ronnie Raymond.
Ronnie and Martin are great.
Yeah. Okay, this is maybe a sign of me getting older. Is like I kind of care more about Martin Stein's romantic life than I do the teenagers.
Oh no, his is terrible.
Yeah, and Martin Stein is old. He's 43, I think they say at one point. I'm like, that's not old.
Yeah, not that old. Oh my God. Well, it's good, folks. You should read it. It's any of it. Jerry Conway wrote everything up to because he was even writing the Justice League.
Which makes sense why Ronnie was on there for a bit.
Oh yeah. It's like you cancel my book, I'm going to put him in there because the first 6 issues were him and Al Milgrom.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to find if I can find a trade of those. That's probably what I'll do.
Yeah, and then he was a backup in Flash, and it was Milgrom and Perez. And then this, and it's good. It was really good. Jerry Conway did a really good job, and Ostrander does a very different job. He's writing it in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's gonna be, they're taking some of what Alan Moore did, like the green, and create the red, which is what they become a power of. So it's okay. For me, I am jumping around stuff, folks. It's getting close to my birthday. I've bought some Omnis. I got some on the way. I've got Phantom Stranger was on for $50. And I may start reading Batman No Man's Land because it's an event I love. I'm not going to apologize. I think it's pretty good. But I'm just enjoying what I'm reading. I've caught up in some Avengers. I'm reading that Firestorm. As I'm reading Absolute Power, I'm reading it off the app, so I've got 3 issues. I need 1 more, and then I'll read 4. I keep loving it. I finished Legacy, Lazarus Planet, which the first half I liked. The second half I was disconnected from it. It was just one speaking to me. But I'm now moving on because my plan was like, I'm reading Absolute Power, which is the end of this whole Waller arc. I'm going to read these 3 events that lead into it because Nightmare is part of it. Which also means I've got to say the War for Earth 3, which I read the first one, and it wasn't terrible, but it is definitely just a bunch of fight scenes across 4 comic books. And then I will do Titans, because that leads into Beast World, which leads it directly into Absolute Power. And I heard that the Titans is good. I read the first couple issues and I like it. It got tied into 2 events in a row, and I was like, I will just read the events.
Yeah, I get that.
And they're doing a new start on All In. A lot of the All In stuff, we've heard a lot of stuff being announced. So it's going to be, some things I'm going to buy, I want right away, and others I'm just going to wait for the app. I mean, Jeff Lemire is doing JSA, and he's also doing the Absolute Flash. I've read the Absolute Batman, and I thought it was a really good comic. It's a totally different take on it. It's fine. They're neat things, and they're weird things. It's Scott Snyder, so it's got a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how long he can hold my attention. But I'm intrigued by what they're doing. The Wonder Woman I want to take a look at. The Superman, I'm going to give it all a shot. But they've been the Martian Manhunter is going to be written by Dennis Camp, who I've only read a little bit about. But the art is by Xavier Rodriguez, who has done the 2 Defender miniseries with Al Ewing. He is now currently doing the Zatanna, which is a fucking masterpiece. He did Jessica Drew Spider-Woman when she had that good costume before they went back to the bad costume, which was his. He also did the History of the Marvel Universe. He is one of my favorite artists, and his take on Martian Manhunter is going to be amazing.
Yep.
He looks great. He actually used Play-Doh to sculpt what he wanted it to look like, and he's dropped those photographs today.
That makes complete sense. I'm not...
Doesn't it look like he made that out of fucking Play-Doh?
Yeah, Play-Doh or clay or something, yeah. And
he did it. He used Play-Doh, and he made it, so I'm excited. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. There's the Challengers Unknown, which has the original 4, plus Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, which I'm kind of intrigued about.
Justice League Unlimited.
I'm going to check out Justice League Unlimited, the JSA mini, the regular series with, oh my God. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. DC's rocking and rolling. Marvel, not so much.
Yeah, because Marvel released something to try and compete with the Compact, but it's like $15 or $5 more, and it's not even everything. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised. I saw someone, Ron posted this to see that people who bought DC aren't stupid. And I think the DC who bought DC Comics, they're not paying attention to the comic book thing, and that they're showing that they're leading the market. They can go to statistics that go, we're doing better than Marvel right now.
Yeah, and because honestly, there's just not a whole lot. I will probably check out Avengers Assemble in a trade, but I'm not really reading anything from Marvel right now either. So.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to the West Coast Avengers.
That one I will definitely give a shot there, even though I need to catch up on old classic West Coast.
Yeah, oh my God, there hasn't been much good. The stuff with Hawkeye, the 2 Hawkeyes, was okay, but it was definitely they were trying to get a younger audience, which was a good idea. They had some good characters in it. Some America Chavez, Kate Bishop, one of the Runaways, the magical one.
Oh,
so it was pretty good.
I can't think of her name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just jumping around. There's some neat stuff coming out, and I'm really digging the Geiger stuff. I'm really digging Ghost Machine right now. That is some of the best comics. And someone complained that Gary Frank he's not done the latest issue, and he's not doing the next one. It's Paul Pelletier. I'm happy.
It's Paul. Yeah, it's Paul Pelletier.
Why isn't he drawing? I don't know why he's not drawing Super Team books. He's built for that shit. I have not gotten the first 2 cross-gen Omnis. I really do enjoy I think the cross-gen universe it was really good. There was some good writing, it had good people, good artists. But Paul Pelletier did one, and that was my favorite. And I would really like to get Sigil, and I really like to get Mystic. I'd like to get it all when Marvel gets it all out, because it's worth it. But Paul Pelletier, man, I read his stuff religiously. He did Outsiders for a while. In a version where Eradicator was the leader, which I only jumped into it because it was in when I'm doing my reread of Zero Hour. I had to read an Outsider. I was like, what's up? Paul Pelletier, this looks good. So I looked it up. Oh, someone recommended, I'm blanking on it, but I read the first issue of Chronos. It came out about the same time as Chase.
Okay.
And,
Yep.
I really dug it. I wish there's this era. I'm reading a lot of that 90s DC, which Manhunter is in, Chase is in, Aztec is in. I just finished the Justice League Unlimited cartoon rewatch, and in the season 3, man, you see Prince Gavin all the time. The 7 Soldier of Victory episodes in there, where they just kind of put one together, hodgepodge.
The Dead Man story is a really good one.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's just you see so many of these great heroes, and I'm looking forward to the new DC Unlimited.
Yep.
You will see. It's Mark Waid. I mean, it's Mark Waid is putting out all of the stuff he is doing is excellent.
Yeah,
I like every bit of it.
He's making up for the lost time.
Yeah, read Batman and Robin Year One, folks. It's him and Chris Samney.
Yeah, you're not gonna go wrong there.
Oh no, I love Sammy. I need to get didn't he do a Daredevil run with Wade?
Yes, I think it was that team.
It's two skinny omnis. I might get that when they do modern.
Yep.
Something or other, because I'd like to read that. And he did. I read Firepower, the Kung Fu Dragon,
which
his version of Iron Fist, his version of Kirkman and Sammy's version of Iron Fist.
Again, I gotta save a little money soon for over the next couple. I gotta finish Firepower, that and Black Hammer.
Yeah. I'll wait for the trades, man. Wait for just the omnibuses are great. They're not
that expensive.
And they're not too expensive. No. That's how I'm gonna have it all in trade, because I've got some issues. I'm gonna sell my issues, so I'm gonna get everything in trade. So that gets me everything in trade, except for the more recent. And the new series, Spiral City, starts where from the ashes of the end of the final thing, they're gonna rebuild that universe from scratch. Man, I cannot get enough Jeff Lemire.
Yep.
I bought his Animal Man. I got to read it, but I want to read Morrison's first. So, all right, folks. As always, I appreciate you listening. Thank you again for coming on, Kirby. And please be safe, be smart, please be kind to one another. We're recording this 10 days before the next presidential election, so be nice to each other. Hopefully it's almost over. And read some comics. Read some Jeff Lemire.
Bye, everybody.